My ultimate goal is to be a creative director, be able to share art and express whatever messages I'm trying to get out or even what other people are trying to get out. I'm just like a firm believer in like there is a place for you, and that's like my number one message. I just want people to feel like they can be themselves.
I hear stories from my dad, like I just used to make up random songs because he just used to play the piano and diddle around and I would sing for fun. Like I made songs about all types of things, like, and sometimes it would never rhyme or it never made sense, but it just made sense to me, and that's kind of how that came about. I didn't want to start dancing seriously until I started watching Dance Moms. That's the name of the show. And I remember watching that and I was like, oh my gosh, they are so talented. And I've always been like pretty athletic and pretty active. So just to, it's an art. So it really captivated me as a child. And so I was like, I think in about 6th, 7th grade, I was like, there was a modern dance team, like they did contemporary and all types of styles, and then I would just be like doing little PK turns in the hallway, like, yeah, I want to dance. And then one of my teachers was just like, well, you should audition, and that's kind of where that journey started. So I first discovered my musical abilities like with family. It wasn't like a known thing to me that I could sing. Like I just would sing. I would just do it just because that's what I wanted to do. But once I started to get attention from my cousins, like they would be like, oh, this, and then want to show me off to everybody else. And then once I started getting into school and the people be like, oh my, like I remember this one boy named Jamal, and he was like, after I got done singing a little song, he was like, oh my gosh, you sound like Beyonce. And I was like, wow, thank you. Now that I'm older, I'm like, that was so crazy for him to say because I don't sound like Beyonce. But yeah, that was like the start of when I thought when I figured out like, oh, this is like a talent thing. Suspended animation, I'm lost inside of you. My biggest inspiration in music, because it's so hard to say just one person. I've always been that person that whenever someone asks my favorite anything, I'm so indecisive because there are so many things that you can pinpoint from different people. No one's perfect. So I don't really aspire to be like someone, but different qualities are the things that I admire. So I admire the versatility and hard work of Michael Jackson and Beyonce. I admire the vulnerability from Miguel. I admire the choreography, and as a dancer, I'm all for Janet Jackson. And then if we talked about like the current music business, I mean, Janet's still current, but Victoria Monet has been coming up, and she did a show on Jimmy Fallon's, and I haven't seen something like that in a long time. So those would be my inspirations in music. In life, it's really cliche, but I feel like I'm my inspiration because I can't really compare my path to anybody else's, like it's only the path that I can embark on. So I just try to inspire myself to just keep going, to find a way, and to complete the things that I'm trying to do in life. I chose college for music just because I wanted more knowledge in music. I wanted more knowledge in the music business. I just wanted to be fully connected. I'm very passionate about the art and entertainment industry as a whole. Like every part, it draws me to it. Like that's how I knew that I was meant for this, because it's the strongest pull I have, I dabble in different things and I'm good at a lot of things and I'm very intelligent, but the arts is just, it's a self-expression thing, it's a creativity thing, and that dwells within me. So also, one of my instructors, he goes by Rain Man. His name is Eric Gaston. I had met him about 2 or 3 years before I started college. And I met him a couple of times. The first time was through a concert called Concert of Colors at the Charles H. Wright Museum. And just that whole experience was super inspiring. And it's crazy because I was only volunteering for that show. I was only volunteering, I was a stagehand. I was bringing stuff onto the stage. I was in black. I was hooking up people with their mics. And, that was what my job was. But the director for the show, he decided he wanted to throw me and the other stagehands to be a part of the show. Yeah, we got to sing and just be more involved, and I met him through that. Then I met him again because he came to my school to talk about my college, and I was like, that's where I want to be. Like, he's a working man, he's good people. I learned from another instructor of mine, Drew Schultz, that if it has the 3 G's, that you're doing good. If it has good music, good people, good pay, then you are on to something. And even if you have 2 out of those 3, you decide how to weigh it. You decide if it's worth it. So I decided it was worth it. And through that, many, many more great opportunities came out of that. I've been crushing on you, baby, yeah. We can fake watch the news if you like it. I will say there was hesitation just because, there is a stigma around arts for college. Of course, they're like, oh, you don't need it. Oh, you're not going to be the next Beyonce. Oh, no, you're not going to make any money off of that. And, it can be scary because it's not an easy industry to succeed in. It's not easy to go into it without just constant working and overworking. And so I can understand the fear of anybody going into the industry. But when you are aware of what you're capable of, that reality, it's easier to know where you stand and where you need to go. And so through that, like, everything is a journey. There's always progress to be made. And so people just have to be patient with it. So I do aim to be a well-rounded vocalist just because I've sang so many different styles and I can find something that I like about all of them. They all have a message. They're all there to make you feel something. Like classical is my jam, hip hop is my jam, jazz is my jam, country is my jam, rock is my jam. So I've always been the type who wants to do it all. But as an artist, it can be confusing to be doing so many different things. So as far as my artist self, Amanon, I try and stick to like the R&B, soul, commercial pop. I'm still figuring it out. The sound has been consistent so far, but because I have such a versatile brain, it can be difficult to just hone in and focus that genre, for my listeners so that they're not too thrown off. Although sometimes that's starting not to matter to me. Again, because I'm into so many different things. Like, I want for people to listen, even if I did something different, and still like it. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Or maybe my mindset has changed since I've started studying at Dime. Throughout high school, I was in a phenomenal training program and performance program called Mosaic Youth Theater of Detroit. And so through that, I had access to extensively professional opportunities. I've traveled the world with Mosaic. I've been all across the states with Mosaic. I've toured with who knows who. And I was already exposed to kind of what the top-notch expectation is. So going from there and having that support system and, having that team and family to just going to college and it's just being you. Like, it's just you. You're not in a choir anymore, Going from there to there, it was just another transition period of just learning, because you will learn that it's hard to find work on your own. You'll learn that it's very hard to find work as an individual. But my view hasn't really changed just because I've had a taste of what it is. And I also still have access to those opportunities. So, it's just a matter of weighing what's worth it. My life has definitely been here's the opportunity dropping, and I just happened to be prepared, caught it, and took it. And so I will say it can be so conflicting because I do so many things. I'll have more issues of like being overbooked or being overworked or being not available for opportunities. So that's mostly my struggle. But it all flows through me, like as far as producing something, like if I was supposed to choreograph something or I'm singing a song or co-writing with someone, like that creative burst just comes naturally. The Motown Museum Amplified competition, that was quite an experience. It was like the first time in a while that I had seen like the city get together for something so big and so many talented people all together in one room, and just being able to see their arrangements for, so I'll tell you the story. They had a month of auditions. It would be every Tuesday. And so my friends and I, it was held at my school. So my friends and I, we, go there, and we were just like, they were like, oh yeah, you should audition. They're doing groups. So we were just like, well, let's make a group. And we all just sang a song solo and like did background for each other. So they asked us to come back as the group and sing a song together, like sing one piece, all four of us. So we did, and we had choreography, and we looked so nice, and it was just really, really great. So we made it. After that, we just came back to see the other contestants and, just be entertained a little bit. And finally, they had the finals, and that was a lot of fun. Showbiz is a lot of wait and come quick. So that's kind of what that was, getting ready for the show. The pressure was on like crazy because there were, again, like everybody was so talented. It's just like, how could you pick who can win? So, yeah, it was kind of just a waiting game and just getting those nerves together. I had like a little pep talk with my friends, and we had worked hard actually for this competition. Like we were having outside rehearsals with different harmonies and, really trying to nail everything. And sometimes it can be hard, especially in a group of 4, to just get everybody on the same page, same idea, to just be on the same accord. So at this point, it's like all the hard work is done. We got to leave it on the stage, and that's exactly what we did. And so we came in third place. Another one of my friends, Terry Shue, she's another phenomenal artist who also went to dine with me. She won second place, and then a duo won first place. They go by the name of Elise King and Rain. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. The interviews were cool. We had a great night. We got paid for it, so it was cool. It was definitely a learning experience. Other places that I've performed at, or artists that I've performed with, I've been to the Fox, I've been to the Apollo, I've been to Carnegie. These are all places I've performed. I've been to the Berman, I've been to the Redford Theater, the DIA, Charles H. Wright Museum, Music Hall, Shane Park. I did the grand opening for Little Caesars Arena and then later performed with Josh Groban there. I did a live album recording for the band Foreigner. I've sang with Alessia Cara at my school.
But since my friends are here, I just came to kick it. But really, I would rather be at home all by myself, not in this room with people who don't even care about my well-being. I don't dance, don't ask, I don't need a boyfriend. So you can't go back, please enjoy your party, I'll be here.
Being on stage with Alessia Cara was nerve-wracking, I'll tell you. Just because they asked me maybe like 3 days before she was coming. Then I had to do 2 songs. Then one of the songs was super wordy and there were like no repeats. The only word, it's her song Here. The only word that repeats is the word Here. Everything else is just word. It's super fast. There's a lot of words. And then I was just, at the time, I was like going through a lot, doing a lot. And so, but I was like, I cannot pass this opportunity. I'm going to get this song. I'm going to nail it. And so we sang the first song and I was like, well, we can do the second song if you sing it. And she was like, well, only if you sing with me. And I was like, oh my gosh, girl. So she came up there and we sang the song and it was super cool. She's super dope. And before we performed, she had did a whole interview for our school. So she was just really down to earth. She was really, really caring about mental health, which I am as well. Like, she was just being very honest about her experience in the business and just, you know, like going for it and how it went and the realities of it. So it was nerve-wracking. I feel like I've only been nervous about 4 to 5 times in my life like that type of nervousness. Like that stomach turning, like, oh my gosh, like I'm shaking. Yeah, so, but it turned out really well and I celebrated that day.